The Bend in the Boyne is a very interesting place as far as passage tombs are concerned. Like, everyone's heard about Newgrange, but very close by is Doath and Noath, which are also large passage tombs. Also quite close to that is Townley Hall, another passage tomb. There is Fourknocks, which is another passage tomb close by, and everyone knows the Hill of Tara. Well, actually at the top of the Hill of Tara is another. Well, because Newgrange was excavated, that's probably why it's the most famous, and it is fairly remarkable. There are between 25 and 40 passage tombs in the area, and they simply don't have the money to excavate them all. So really, many of them just appear as mounds in the middle of a field. Lots of people for years didn't even know that they had one on their land. In fact, to this day, there are probably many that still are mounds in a field. There's often in Ireland very significant archaeological finds that were simply, initially, would have been described as a pile of rocks until they were excavated, and then all of a sudden they realised this is an entire tomb complex. There is actually tunnels underneath. The inside of Fourknocks is enormous, and yet nobody knew what it was. In fact, even now it still remains a lump in the field. It's just a big grassy knoll. What's interesting about Fourknocks is that when Newgrange was opened to the public after it was excavated, a lot of people came to see it. It was an incredible thing to see, and one of them was a farmer who remarked to one of the people showing, the tour guides, let's call them, that he had won, and he noticed the inscriptions on some of the rocks that were used at the entrance of Newgrange, and was saying that he had one of the mountainous field with all these particular type of rocks, and he had absolutely no idea what it was. He didn't know it was a passage tomb. All he had actually told about was the rocks. So the guy was fascinated and contacted an archaeologist who went up and had a look, and lo and behold, underneath this mound in a field was one of the largest passage tombs that we know of. What they think of the rock art now is that it has to do with binary opposites. It can be read, if you know the language, if you like, if you know what the symbols mean, you can actually read what it means. So one side possibly was to do with chieftains, another side to do with lay people, serfs, or possibly it could have been gender. One side was to do with men, one side was to do with women.